to capital markets, and maybe you can actually throw some light in terms of ease of listing. And Chinmay also referred to the whole mechanism of due diligence, and obviously it should be there. But do you think there is a scope to improve that part and maybe make it a little more easier, looking at the concentration of the low value MSMEs in the overall ecosystem?
The overall, I think there are 6.5, 7 crore total MSMEs, but most of them are not even micro. It's like below micro, one man or two man shops. The ones which are slightly larger, they are in the range of 70,000 to 1 lakh. We have now between two exchanges around 1,100 companies listed on the SME platform. Some of them have, I think 20% have gone to the main board, but 800 are still remaining in the small boards, which basically they have listed recently. And so, in some ways, anyone wanting to list today, compared to say what was there 20 years back, today it's very easy to list. But you need to comply because you are taking money from people who are unknown to you. When you come to the market, I mean, when you go to the bank, they appraise you, they figure out, they come to your plants, check with your suppliers, check with your customers, check the market data and stuff like that. But an investor who is sitting like very far, she is putting 1,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees in your business. She doesn't have that capability, right? And so the requirements are generally much stringent than even a bank loan would be. But banks also cover themselves with the collateral. Whereas in equities, it is not so. At the same time, today, if you think you want to list and you have all the data and all the paperwork ready, you should be able to list on SME market within 3 to 6 months, which is quite a change vis-a-vis even a main board company today. A main board company would take a year to list from idea to execution earliest. An SME company will take 3 months. So in a way, SMEs have a head start to do the listing. The compliances are now much easier. Earlier, when GST was not there, or automatic even income tax or TDS was not there, people were trying to save taxes, and that's why they didn't want to go to markets. Today, and most of them used to have two books, one for showing to authorities, one for personal consumption. Today, I think with GST, all these things are gone. So you have all the data. You should be able to go to list if you think you have a plan, you have a business, and you want to make it big. If you want to remain the same, don't come to the market. See, I mean, for me, I tell everyone that what is the difference or what is common between, say, Dhirubhai Ambani, Ratan Tata, Narayan Murthy, Nandan Nilekani, is that they became billionaires because they listed on NSE. So if you want to become billionaire, of course, Velu is here, so he is also billionaire because he listed. And so for me, I mean, he listed in front of me, but those people listed before I joined the business. But effectively for me, it's important that you want to have a plan, you want to grow, you want to become billionaire, come and list, right? And then that will make you disciplined from day one. And everywhere, the tough part is actually in thinking. Once you have decided that you want to do it and you are a true entrepreneur, you will do it.
Right. I would like to refer to Chinmay's presentation, the first slide which he presented. While obviously, I mean, one can look at it as a great opportunity because in terms of employment, the MSME sector plays a very vital role, employing more than 60%, I mean, generating more than 60% employment in the country. If you look at the value addition or the productivity, we are still somewhere at the bottom. If you look at the global parameters, is it an opportunity to tap, or is it a sort of a deadlock or a serious problem to increase productivity in this sector?
See, for me, the productivity sometimes happens out of scale and sometimes happens out of the individual initiatives. So scale brings its own level of productivity because of the machines and things like that, right? And the individual initiatives bring the new level of productivity by creating more sort of varieties, newer ways of doing things. And today, the place where we are in technology, whether it is in AI, 3D printing, robotics, or many other areas, biosciences, and things like that, you will see that everyone will be able to do same thing very easily. How do you get that extra zing into that? And that's why, for me, in fact, many people think today, I think somebody said, probably Shamat or somebody, saying it's time where single person enterprise now will be $1 billion. Why? Is because the productivity tools available today, which are currently being developed or are in the market, which we have not yet tested, none of us, can actually increase your productivity many times, which would not be true with a larger organization, right? So it's actually the smaller players are going to be very beneficiary of the newer trends that are coming up. They require less capital, a lot of brains, a lot of hard work, which is there. While as the scale part, which used to be there in 1930s and 1940s and even 1990s, was about scale. Today is about enterprise, right? And for me, Indians have too much enterprise, very little capital, and a lot of brains, right? And that's where I think we are in the right place, right time. Think of becoming, each of you can become $1 billion enterprise yourself, right? If you collect 50 people, probably it might be even more. And today, you can service the world.
The markets are buzzing, stocks are moving, and every second counts for your investments. On Buy Now, Sell Now, we bring you India's most interactive financial show, where your stock queries are answered live on air.
WhatsApp number that will be flashing on your screen.
Wait for some more time.
Technical analysis to sector highlights. Get real-time advice to make smarter, quicker decisions.
We have the buy price. On the other hand, we have fine-tune your stock portfolio with me, Cheryl D'Souza, on Buy Now, Sell Now, every trading day at 11 a.m. only on ET Now.
capita income, but we want you to be rich because you're already a democracy. You're already slightly capitalist. We want China to be poor. Although they are richer than you, we will give them quota so that they come out of the Russia's orbit and stuff like that. So there is no regulation, no rules those days also. But what I'm telling you these are all how the world gets to play if you are large. And today, by quirk of fate, India is on the table, and we are going to call our shots. We are going to have our own ways of dealing with people, where other people will also, of course, ask for their pound of flesh, and we have to be sort of adults to work with each of them on a one-to-one basis. And that's why each of the MSME or medium or large companies will have their own play. They need to tell our government, our negotiators about what are the opportunities we have as a country, what those people's requirements are, and that is the other counter sides, and then how do we basically create a win-win solution for each country which are large, right? And that's what each of us who are working as small entrepreneurs are going to get our chances. We need to pivot very fast, get what the other sides want, and probably today I have much more confidence than I had, although I was young those days in 91, 92, I just came out of college. But today I have much more confidence on our entrepreneurs and our youngsters in creating a better solution for the world than we had that time.
Right. So are you somewhere saying our theme also for this year's awards is that how the MSMEs can be powered to global stage? Are you saying that it is technology, entrepreneurship and skill which is going to power Indian entrepreneurs to global stage in a sort of constantly changing scenario?
Absolutely. And also in addition to that, exposure to the world and the network. This too, where we were lacking completely in 91. We were so inward looking that around the world in $8 was the theme, right? Today, many youngsters have gone abroad, they've come back, their parents have gone abroad, come back. They know how the world behaves, what are the cultural issues. And my own language, when I went first time in 93 to UK and US, I was speaking English, but they kept on telling me that speaking English. Probably it was racism, but also to some extent to give them credit, they had never heard a person like me before, speaking English in my own accent. And so, in a way, now they've started hearing people like us every day, right, because of the call centers and all. But effectively, that's where I think our network, our exposure to the world has become much stronger, and that's going to keep us in good state going forward.
Right. You mentioned about, the old institutions like WTO, WHO sort of coming down from its previous form. Are you somewhere hinting that because of the multipolarity, countries with common interest or convenience of business will end up forming such smaller groups rather than having one global umbrella organization like WTO? Is that what you're saying?
No, absolutely. They already did it. I mean, they've done it before. Like European Union was a project. Then the US, Mexico, Canada was a project. And even China did the ASEAN, and then now they were trying to do some BRICS and whatever, road and something like that.
Belt and Road, yeah.
Right? So that's how I see that it has always happened over and above as a layer to WTO. But WTO had a power because two large players, actually one large player was beneficent enough, that is the US, was allowing all these things to go despite being attacked. Today, it's like the king whose money has gone and he was still being very charitable for long. And now he's feeling that my clothes are going and I need to save my clothes, right? And that's where now he's not being so charitable. And that's where I think you have a chance that multipolarity, I mean, those multiple players which are taking advantage of the largest of that guy are now going to find themselves negotiating with that guy. And similarly, we will be in that same queue and we will have to negotiate with each other.
Right. That was really bold. But sir, coming back to your entrepreneurial journey, because you kept mentioning it, that you failed as an entrepreneur, though nobody would believe it, the way you have sort of reinvented exchanges, derivatives mechanism in India, and everything that you have done. Still, what was your biggest learning from your entrepreneurial journey, which you would want, aspiring entrepreneurs here to learn from you?
I mean, I have been party to setting up exchanges, running them, but I have also been part of setting up retail, organized retail, very large. Similarly, telecom companies, and similarly, even refineries and all. But interestingly, I also was the first CEO of Mumbai Indian cricket team, okay? So many things I have done, but as employee. When I started my own firm, it was on software, B2B e-commerce. It was ahead of its time, which happens to many of us. 25 years back I started, and I failed fast, and then I became an employee again. Parallelly, I started my own, another software firm for stockbrokers, which in a way I started for India, the automation of stockbroking and stuff. And that worked, a little bit of money came in, which was my family's retirement funds and stuff like that. But 2-3 things, you think people are going to fund your friends and all, when you go to them, I mean, I am from finance. When I went to my friends, they didn't want to tell me no, but they said, boss, you're good, we know you, you're trustworthy. But when your turnover goes to 25 million, then you come to me, then I'll fund. And I said, boss, if I have 25 million, why would I come to you, right? But it was a good way to say no. So you have to be able to figure out when people are saying no nicely, right? Sometimes people tell you no badly, don't take it to heart. You will hear a lot of no's when you are an entrepreneur, right? If you are an entrepreneur, you know that. The second thing is to stay grounded. You can't believe in your own bluff. You may be optimistic, which you must be, otherwise you can't be entrepreneur, right? You have to be sort of optimistic that tomorrow will be better than today. Next second will be better than just now, right? And that's why I keep on running, waking up every day and running hard and fast. But still you have to be grounded, saying something is not working, then you need to stop. Otherwise, you're going to go farther and create more losses for yourself, right? So not believing in your bluff, you may want to market it to others, but you need to be grounded to figure out that let's sort of continue to compare with reality and come back to reality all the time.
Right. Candid as ever. Thank you so much, Ashish sir, for joining us here. I know you have a flight to catch, but please give him a huge round of applause. Thank you.